because they play on the low percentage that gets a lot of damage.
Yep.
So is it going to be enough times for the opponent? We'll see.
Yeah, we will see what Vogue has in store. They have put on one hell of a show so far, and they are on winner's side. So no matter how you slice it, KTP has a lot of work to do. Gonna have to get the reset and then win another 5-game set. And right out the gate, Vogue says, I don't need no warm-up. Air Hayabusa is blocked. Needing to be not quite able to close it out here. Wow, okay, the blitz. KTP says not quite yet. I'm still in there. All right, another knockdown. What's the mix? Make the clap. He did. Wow. You know what? Even if the round does not go to KTP, he did earn Vogue's burst there at the end. Yeah. It's not a win, but it's better than getting skunked out the gate at the start of Grand Finals. So, Boo up 1-0, excuse me, Vogue up 1-0. Too many Heian players, something I never thought I'd say at a top 8 in Xrd.
Yeah, but it's definitely a matches of inches, right? You want to take everything that you can get. Vogue not having that burst is a big deal in this very scenario right here, but the reversal throw in favor of Vogue puts KTP in the corner.
Yeah, I like what Vogue is doing here. They're being just a tiny bit more conservative. Not a lot. Vogue's going to play the way Vogue plays, but I like that they're going, hey, I don't always have to play. But when you think I'm not going to, then it's not the party.
That's an RC for continued combo. Heian does have a lot of health, so I don't think that would have killed, but this will probably do it. No, they burst it again. Vogue from SoCal now gonna do one of those bursts.
Yeah, says, no, I want to close this first game out right here, right now. So uses the burst, but it does not get there. Just barely not able to get the KO with that trade. And KTP evens up game 1 of Grand Finals at 1 apiece.
You didn't see that exact burst has mattered 2 other times in this tournament, and it might matter 1 more.
Yeah, absolutely. Great observation there from my co-commentator. Nice jump out there from Vogue. They get out of the corner, catch the Shinken. Not sure what they were going for on that. Might have been a attempted burst bait, but definitely not the input Vogue wanted. Gets blitz and tries for the full charge. Blitz back, nothing doing. And Vogue pushed through the corner. Able to escape though, very nice from them. Looking for the tech trap on the red Shinken, nothing doing. And that jump S gets in, and KTP gonna close it out with the super, one of the better Guts Crush supers in the game. KTP up 1-0 to start Grand Finals.
Yeah, in that situation specifically, you know, you want to go for that Guts Crush when you're at game point, just so that you don't give the opponent a lot of burst back and be able to, you know, give them an extra burst they wouldn't have otherwise. But for closing out the game entirely, very good.
Absolutely. Vogue says, that's fine. I can give a game or 2. I have plenty left to work with here. And already has a nice life lead, has KTP stuck in the corner, but KTP does air dash out. Go back to mid screen, but now the OP begins. I like it. The run up into the delay overhead. It's the confirm. We had this in the first game where Vogue had a massive life lead and struggled a little bit to close it out. Had to use a burst, and that ended up mattering a great deal in that first game. But this time, we get the actual 7 golden letters, and Vogue up 1-0 in game 2. Very nice from them.
Interesting thing here, we saw a double 2-hit 5H there. And then we saw Fu from earlier, remember, canceled into Grandpa Viper for the low out there. That's something that could come into play later on.
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of those things that's really awkward to see and block just because of the nature of the space between the hits. So, but KTP, wow. I looked away from 2 seconds to check on my co-com, and all of a sudden, Vogue doesn't have a life bar. Nice block there, but gets caught by the slide, and KTP, wow, drops it, so not quite able to even up this game just yet. Vogue with a little room to work with. How are they going to approach this? All right, the tick grab, and we start the Oki.
Yeah, gonna get a combo off of this one because of the red ball. Nice delayed air dash, gonna get a big combo off of this. Going for the kill here? Is it possible? No, didn't get the back hit.
God, didn't pull May down quite enough, and the 6P whiffs. That is brutal for Vogue. Not only do you not get the round and the game, you now are down an extra burst. That is rough.
Yeah, I mean, especially versus May, you see KTP just going for very simple high-lows, not high reward, but constantly keeping Vogue down.
Yeah, just nickel and diming Vogue to the corner, and they are stuck, but gets the throw, and they have a little breathing room. How do we start the mix? It says, I too can tick throw, my friend. What do we have next? Jump S catches, and Vogue might not get their burst back here. It's going to be very close, but it might not even matter with this kind of deficit.
Nice, great backdash in that situation from KTP, getting away from Vogue's Hayabusa, and will go up 2-0. One of the things that is very interesting about how Vogue plays this versus KTP is that Vogue will go into the air downwards with Hayabusa a little bit more often than Fu does.
Yeah.
And KTP, or at least May, doesn't really have good air option or anti-air options from the ground. They're both kind of slow. So KTP just getting out of that situation entirely rather than try to go for an anti-air.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm noticing that KTP, as soon as he's getting close to closing out a round, is opting to use Dolphin to bait burst, not running up and putting himself in burst range. And it's working very well. Another one is baited. And Vogue definitely struggling to get some momentum in grand finals here. Let's see if they can turn it around here, get a game on the board, and start going the other way. There we go. Shinkin into the knockdown. Super Turner ball is out. Nice block, but gets thrown, and this should be enough. Vogue goes up 1-0 in game 3, and you know Vogue wants a game here. Get a little bit of a breath.
Another thing that Vogue's been doing differently from Fu is a lot more throws. That's going to be big damage.
Counter hit Shinkin into the loop. And we start the mix. Nice backdash there from KTP.
Whoa.
Counter hit Shinkin again. May is going to get stunned here very soon. And this might be enough to do it. Vogue probably going to go for maximum hits to try and create the stun. Not quite there, but almost any hit should be able to close out this game for Vogue.
Nice
Gets
confirm.
counter hit. Yeah, and a beautiful confirm from KTP.
Has a lot of meter to work with, too. Vogue doesn't have the burst yet. One more knockdown on a lot of meter. Can go for the kill without the burst.
Wow, the double wire C to bait anything going on. Just showing a flash there to get a flinch out of Vogue, and it works. And KTP is on reset point.
Yeah, the double wire C also a lot of time where you can't get inputs in, so it will throw off reversal timings for Vogue.
Yeah, really, really smart use with all that meter available. And Vogue desperately trying to get on the board, get the momentum going. They have the corner, sets up the overhead unblockable. Vogue with a lot of meter to work. Yep, the overhead into the Roman cancel. Shinkin.
Yeah,
Overhead again, and that
nice.
should close it out. And Vogue is on the board. 1-2 here in grand finals. Very nice adjustment from them.
Yeah, very important for Vogue to make this set last a little bit longer, get a little bit more info. Even if they go into the reset, that will just be a little bit helpful going into more games.
Absolutely. And we talked about how having a warm-up can be an advantage. Fatigue can also happen if you're on the station for a long time. So the longer Vogue draws this out, even if they can't come back and take this set, the longer they draw this out, the better chance they might be able to just wear KTP down over time.
That's important. This is KTP's 11th game in a row, so it's going to come into play at some point.
Absolutely, but KTP with a nice life lead once again. Vogue about to get their burst back, going for the clap, nothing doing. Wow, so smart from KTP. Plays the game of chicken, and for those of you who don't know, the clap super has basically infinite super armor, but it does not work against grabs, it does not work against supers. And so KTP able to get it. Oh, Shinkin just missed. Goes in with the JP, looking for any burst option there. Vogue smartly does not give it up. Nice blitz, but the blitz back, and Vogue has to burn their burst there to try and get out of the corner. And KTP on the verge of a reset, immediately bursts that 6K, got baited by the fake overhead, but the real overhead hits Shinkin. Went for the reset, nothing doing, but now Vogue with the life lead.
Yeah, that situation a little bit high on that last Shinkin, so tried to go for something different. Wasn't going to get the knockdown off of that one. Gets the hit. Oh, just a run-up throw afterwards. Blue ball. Going to get the confirm.
Oh,
it could have been it right there. KTP, that's going to be able to take advantage.
Wow, massive drop for Vogue, and KTP might take maximum advantage here. Nice dead angle. Vogue has some room to work with. Can they close this game out, this round out? And they do! Keeping the reset from happening just yet, and we are one game apiece here, or one round apiece in game 4.
Yeah, that's big too. It gave Vogue a little bit more time to get burst back. I mean, it's going to be Vogue getting it now, and that's going to be a big deal versus May's big damage.
One throw deserves another. The Oki starts. Beautiful tuner ball manipulation. Shinken went for the third on a light. Doesn't always work, and that drops big. KTP has the corner.
A lot of meter to work with, though. Delayed situation for KTP, looking for that defensive option clap or something else, but gets the 5D. Is that going to be enough hits after the launch? Trying to go for the Guts Crush with the OTGs. Will be able to do it. Vogue takes 2 back.
Yeah, very, very good use of the Guts Crush ability in the corner there. Again, having that long-range 4-frame 2P to go up and get your OTG, finish off that last bit of life bar. And Vogue has evened up grand finals at 2 games apiece and is now on championship game here at EVO 2025.
Scary burst there. Saw Vogue go back up, and I thought maybe it would have been a blocked burst, but nonetheless, both people already using it.
Yeah, and yet again, we see a situation where KTP is really on the back foot. Do they have another one in them? Can they run that ice through the veins and manage to get this reset? Gets the knockdown with a beach ball behind. A lot to work with here, and gets in, and Vogue into the corner.
Yeah, did YRC earlier, so it wasn't penalty. Doesn't have meter for defensive options to speak of, and has to eat all of this. Doesn't get the combo. The ID was a little too slow, and Vogue will take advantage.
Massive drop there from KTP, and Vogue now on championship point at EVO 2025. Shinken! Vogue takes 60% to start this round and is on the verge. Can they
Nice
close
combo.
out a championship? Drops the clap, got the ground now. KTP with an escape, but immediately knocked down once again. Vogue trying to close this out, looking to win EVO 2025. They get the anti-air, and Vogue is your EVO 2025 Guilty Gear Xrd REV 2 champion.
An incredible comeback from Vogue, down 2-0.